everybody. This is Keith Gleason from Indie Comics Relay and creator of the Mighty Mascots. And here I'm doing a new video this month. And maybe it'd be a series of different videos, but I thought I would do a series on writing indie comics from my perspective. I thought it would be an interesting subject to kind of talk about and may help some creators down the line. Before we do that, I just wanted to show you guys Mighty Mascots Indiegogo campaign. As I'm recording this right now, we are at 6,600. We are less than $400 away from unlocking the Captain Honeyflake's pirate eye patch for everybody. Anybody that got a physical perk, something that's not digital, just something that I'm gonna have to ship, will get this pirate eye patch as soon as we unlock it. Once we hit 7,000. I'm pretty sure we can do it. We got 18 days left. We're closing in on that total. So let's do it. We got 3 exciting issues here. We got 7, 8, and 9. Lots of first appearances. We also added a lunchbox to the campaign. So lots of exciting stuff. You can get your own Honey Flakes puppet. We're only making one of those. And this was already unlocked, the collectible box top cover. So lots of cool stuff. Like I said, 3 new issues. I mean, look at these covers. They're excellent. So I cannot wait to get this out to you guys. We already pretty much done issue 7. I got all the artwork in. I got to just finish the lettering. And issue 8 started this week. So we are definitely chugging right along, and we're not waiting for the Indiegogo to be over to start it. So yeah, so we're good. We're chugging right along, and we hope to deliver this well ahead of the due date. So awesome. So check that out. Back if you can. If not, tweet it out. Share it. That's always appreciated as well. All right, everybody. So so what I was saying before is I thought we could do, or I could do a video about writing indie comics, like different, where different ideas come from, that kind of thing. And a little bit of my background is like I started off more as a cartoonist. Like when I was really young, I wanted to just do comic strips, like the stuff you see in the Sunday newspapers, or like web comics, that kind of thing, where it's like it was 3 panels, usually 2 panels are the setup, and then the third one was the gag. So I was way into that when I was a kid, right up until probably about high school is when I discovered comic books, and I kind of got into that, comic storytelling and things like that. But I still wanted to be a cartoonist. The funny thing is like I never fancied myself really as a writer. That was something I kind of fell into as I discovered comic books. When I was a cartoonist, you were writing because you have to write a joke, you have to write a nice setup and a joke, but it was not writing like a full story, so and I've kind of gone full circle with everything. Like I started off as a comic strip writer, and I did a bunch of those. And then I did my own comic books in high school. I would write and draw, my own series. I did about 20 issues of that. It was called The Limits to Guardians. It was basically about me and my friends at the time in high school, just being superheroes and, getting into 80s hijinks, basically, so like hitting each other and hazing each other, that kind of thing, but also saving the day, with these wacky villains. So that was like my first cutting my teeth on writing a comic strip, and then when I went to college, I went to 1 year at Kubert School, did a bunch there. But after I got home from Kubert School, I actually fell into making movies. I had discovered like independent filmmaking. So I had found a bunch of friends, and we were doing this web show called Hero Envy. This is when YouTube was just starting to get big. And the web show was like a geek comedy. It was like before Big Bang Theory and all that had come out. It was kind of along the lines of that, but I would say much better. Like ours was more funnier, more edgy, more deep cuts, with the references and things like that. Like you could tell it was like true geeks, whereas I feel like Big Bang Theory is kind of low key, thinks it's above geekdom, and kind of looking down on geeks and that kind of thing. So was able to do some screenplays for Hero Envy, and I also was exposed to working with different writers too, because we had a couple different writers on Hero Envy, and sometimes we would one of us would write the entire story out, and then the other ones would just do touch-ups with dialogue and change little things. And then other times we would sit around and talk about storylines and write them out as well. So that was kind of an interesting process, and I kind of miss that because I do like the group thing. Like it really brought out the best best out of everybody. Everyone shot ideas around, and like I see why with television they have writers' rooms, because all these writers just bouncing ideas off each other. I see the benefit of something like that because I've experienced it firsthand. So one day I would love to get back to something like that. And then finally after that I got more serious about making comic books. So different type of ideas and where they come from. That's something that I don't really I think it's just something that comes out of you. You're inspired by dreams, you're inspired by like with Mighty Mascots, my wife had bought me a t-shirt that had all the cereal mascots on it, and they were all hanging out, and it said Breakfast Club. Just a funny t-shirt, just funny thing to wear. But that's where the idea came from. Mighty Mascots. I saw this picture of all these brand mascots, cereal mascots hanging out, and that's triggered something in my head and go, wait a minute, the eureka moment, that's something. So I knew, and so all these different styles of writings have kind of helped me become a better writer over the years. I'm kind of rambling now, but like like I said, I never took writing. I did take some creative writing in college, but I never really studied writing like hardcore, like a novelist would. I just kind of more self-taught. And also, I mean, especially if you're out there and you're thinking, something like, I'm just an artist, I can't write, you can. It's just, I think a lot of it is tuning your brain into like when you're reading a comic or watching a movie, you're not only just enjoying that comic or enjoying that movie, but on another level you're looking at how the writers put that story together. I think that does help you as a to learn it, especially people like Quentin Tarantino, who never went to to film school because he self-taught himself by watching movies and how they put scenes together, how they lit certain things, how characters interacted, things like that. And if you have that analytical mind, that's something I think you could brush up on and learn how to gain the skills of being a writer, how to look at a comic book and say, okay, so this is a one and done issue. Okay, so how did they do a beginning, middle, and end of this story? Where's the conflict? Who's your, characters? Who's your antagonist, your protagonist, all that stuff? Is the characters going to have, an arc in this? Are they going to, go from one place to another, in this storyline? All that stuff, I think you can learn just by reading what's around you, and also watching movies and seeing how they do certain things. I highly recommend watching something like me and my wife are watching a show called Primal at the moment, and what an amazing it's a great show, but there's no dialogue in it, and Jendi Tartakovsky, I don't know how to pronounce his name, so sorry for butchering it. But he does this amazing storytelling with no dialogue, and it's that's something to really look at and learn how he did that, like, because if you can tell a story that's compelling without dialogue, I mean, right there you're hitting a home run, so um that is my advice. If you're just learning to become an indie writer for the first time, is look at stuff, really read it as an entertaining thing, and then maybe go back and read it again with an analytical view of it, like, see what the writer's saying or having the characters say, see how they push the story forward, that kind of thing. um and another thing I wanted to mention about finding where an idea would come from is, most people often get ideas like while they're driving, or in the shower, and you're just kind of daydreaming. It's like, so something that connected with me about that is, a couple of years ago, I went and had some hypnosis done, because I was trying to lose a little weight, so I was trying anything at the time, and so I figured try hypnosis, see if that would work for me. It kind of did. Like, I did lose a little weight, and which is good. I've been able to keep it off, and I want to lose more, because I still, but I am lighter than I was 2 years ago, which is good. But one thing I learned from hypnosis is that, the hypnosis consultant was telling me about how, when people drive long distances or in the shower, like I mentioned, they are kind of in a trance, because you are letting your mind drift, and you kind of are getting in touch with your subconscious, and that's kind of where ideas form from. So sometimes, like, like me and my wife will go on bike rides, and sometimes I'll listen to music, but sometimes I'll turn it off and I'll just zone out and just see if an idea will percolate, or I'll even just sit around and think about the current issues of the Mighty Mascots and how I can make those issues better, things that I might have missed, plot holes that I gotta kind of work the kinks out, things like that. So yeah, and I would say that, to me, is key to finding an idea or having an idea develop. Sometimes it comes through the form of dreams as well, so, and that's just tapping into that subconscious, so but yeah, I think this is probably a good start for the writing mind, or different, creating an idea, crafting an idea. So I'm going to stop here, because it's already at 12 minutes, which is crazy. I can't believe I've been talking that long. It feels like I've been in a trance for 12 minutes, so, but yeah, definitely. Let me know what you guys think. Like, if you want me to talk more about writing, more how I write, things like that. I think this could be useful for indie creators to kind of hear it from other people, especially if you fancy yourself more of an artist than a writer, which I definitely do. Even though I don't do much art anymore, I do it, but it's not. I don't draw Mighty Mascots. I just letter it. But this, I used to do my Swamp Tales comics, and I still draw stuff for the Alterna auctions. But that's about it at these days. But I definitely want to develop my writing even further. So maybe these videos will help me even talk about it and flesh out things that I want to do. But yeah, let me know what you think. Also, like, subscribe, share this video with people. Like, maybe other people would get some use out of this channel with all the different playlists I have and different topics I talk about. So, but all right, everybody, tune in this Wednesday. We got another live stream happening. We got the guys from Global Comics, I believe, this week, which is the huge digital platform that's kind of overtaking Comixology at this point. And it's kind of like a hot indie kind of digital platform. So we're going to have, I think, the CEO and, a couple of the higher ups from Global Comics joining us, and they're going to talk about everything going on. It's exciting for them over there. So, we love having them as guests. This will be their third time on the show, so it'll be awesome. So join us Wednesday for that. All right, everybody, have a great week. Do some writing and read some comics. All right, have a good one. Thanks. Bye.
Ahoy, mateys! 'Tis I, Captain Horatio Honeyflakes, and I be here to tell you some exciting news. Mighty Mascots Issues 7, 8, and 9 has been extended for another 30 days, and we be adding exciting perks for you. Feast your eyes on these new exciting perks that are available only on Indiegogo. This exclusive retro-style lunchbox is just what you need for back-to-school lunches or lunch in the office. You'll be the talk of the town. This exclusive puppet can also be yours. A high-quality handmade version of me, Horatio Honeyflakes, can be yours to grace your room, your office, or be the highlight of any comic fan collection. So back the Mighty Mascots today to have any of these fabulous perks. But only one Horatio Honeyflakes. Ha ha! Mascots unleash!